Hey, I'm Liv, welcome back to my channel Endless Pages, and welcome to today's video, which is a weekend reading vlog. Hello, it is the weekend. I have made it through my work week. It is currently Saturday the 26th of July, about 4:30. I finished work at 4 today. This was my long week, so my 6-day week, which means that I am now at my weekend. I'll have Sunday, Monday off, which is absolutely lovely. And yeah, when I was thinking about what I wanted to do on the weekend, I did have some rough plans, but I have been sick a lot recently. So I thought it was best when it came time to the weekend that I just stop and I just relax and not do anything, because I didn't want to push my body when I've just gotten better and then, you know, push myself over the weekend and get sick again. So I decided to spend a weekend at home relaxing and listening to my body, giving my body rest after it's just been spending what feels like the first 6 months of this year fighting sickness. So I'm just gonna relax, take it easy. I cleaned my space before work, so this is all nice and clean and perfect environment to sit and just do nothing but read. So I am so excited, so excited. I'm also casually listening to the Triple J Top 100 of Australian songs that's happening. If you don't know, if you're not Australian, Triple J is a radio station here, and they have a tradition every year where everyone votes on the kind of top 100 songs of recent times, and they spend the day just playing them. A lot of people have parties, listen to it. This time around they have decided to do a top 100 songs user voted of Australian songs, so that's currently playing. So I have missed almost half of it because I was at work, but I will be listening to that on and off as well. I want to see the top 10. I'm very curious to see what the top 10 songs are. There've been some really good songs so far. Anyway, so that's my weekend plan. Let's talk about what I want to actually read. I have what I believe is an achievable 2 books. I believe that this is achievable if I focus. So in the month of July, the Australian Readathon has been happening. I've been not the best at participating, but semi-participating, and there's 2 books on my TBR that I want to try and finish before the end of the month, so I at least have read a couple of Australian books because I've just been DNFing like crazy again. So the plan is to hopefully read this book here, Captive Prince by C.S. Beckett, which has probably been on my TBR a million times if you've watched any of my videos. This is an Australian, obviously it's an Australian author, it's an Australian readathon. This is an Australian author. The reason I picked this up, this is their older book. I want to say this is their debut book that was first published, I don't know, early 2013. So this is their older book. I have read their Dark Rise duology, which is now not maybe my favourite duology ever, some of my 2 favourite books ever. I'm completely obsessed with those books. It's my whole personality. They're all I talk about. So this is their older work that I want to try. I think it's got quite similar of a romance style, maybe just like a little bit darker, but judging by the cover, there is some similar themes to Dark Rise. So I've been told that I will probably love this. I'm just a little bit intimidated by kind of darker romance. I think it is like a little bit slavery at the start, so that does like throw me off a little bit, but I believe it gets healthier later on. But I think that's how kind of the dynamic starts between these 2 characters. So basically we have Damon, who's a warrior and the rightful heir to the throne of this Aeolus. But when his half-brother seizes power, he's captured, stripped of his identity, and set to serve the prince of an enemy nation as a pleasure slave. Beautiful, manipulative, and deadly, his new master, Prince Laurent, epitomizes the worst of the court at Vere. I don't know if I ever pronounced that right. But in the lethal political web of the Venerian... that's not how you say that. Whatever, in the court, nothing is as it seems, and when Damon finds himself caught up in a play for the throne, he must work together with Laurent to survive and save his country. But for Damon there is just one rule: never ever reveal his true identity, because the one man he needs is the one man who has more reason to hate him more than anyone else. I think I'll like it. I think the slavery is really throwing me because I know it turns into a romance. But I mean, technically, without spoiling it, there is that kind of super similar. It's not slavery, but kind of same idea in the Dark Rise series, and I loved that romance. So I think I've just got I've got to stop letting that fear stop me from picking this up, because I probably will eat this up, and I'll be mad if I put this off any longer, and I love it, and I'd be like, why have I waited so long to read this? So that's the first one. I can't remember what prompt this is for, actually, of the Australian Readathon. Anyway, if I figure it out later, I'll tell you. The other idea is an audiobook. So I thought that's totally doable if I read this one, which is like 270 pages, and then an audiobook as well, and go back and forth between the two. That's totally doable over two days. So, and tonight, so that should be doable. The audio is this book that I have physically as well, The Survivors by Jane Harper. Jane Harper, my love, one of my favorite authors. Mwah, beautiful. Again, obviously she's Australian. She's an Australian crime writer, and she kind of really changed the game for Australian crime genre, really brought it into the light. And she is an incredible author. Like, her descriptions of Australia are just incredible, and her mysteries also incredible. I love them, love them, love them. So this is one of her standalone ones. It's not part of like the Dry series that she's famous for, and it just got adapted into a Netflix series. That's a pretty good adaptation, I've heard, so perfect timing to read this. So we follow Kieran Elliott. His life changed forever on the day a reckless mistake led to devastating consequences. The guilt that still haunts him resurfaces when Kieran and his young family visit his parents in the small coastal community he once called home. Between them all is his absent brother, Finn. When a body is discovered on the beach, long-held secrets threaten to emerge. A sunken wreck, a missing girl, and questions that have never washed away. I love Jane Harper. I'm hoping it's the same narrator as... so I've listened to... I don't think I listened to The Dry on audio. No, I think I physically read The Dry and the Forces of Nature, which is the sequel to The Dry. And then I think I listened to her other standalone book, The Lost Man, on audio, and I loved the narrator. He was just perfect for that, like, Australian outback kind of scene. So I'm hoping maybe it's the same narrator for this book, because I really liked his narration style. But we will see. Yeah. So, and I'm trying to get more into audiobooks recently. I've been talking for 10 minutes. Oh my god. Anyway, I've been trying to get into audio more. We were talking about it in our group chat, and I just don't utilize audiobooks enough. And there's times where I'm like, I cannot be asked to read. I just want to lie down. I just want to do nothing after work. And popping on an audio would be so much better than rewatching Criminal Minds for the 16th time in my life. So, so I'm trying to encourage myself to listen to more audio. That's another reason I decided to listen to this on audio. And I thought, typically when I listen to audiobooks, I listen to crime. I feel like audio and crime just go well together. So yeah, that is my plan, is to read these two books over this weekend. I hope I can do it. I hope I can focus, because I really, really, really am in a reading mood. So yeah, that's my plan for the weekend. I'm going to update you when I've made progress or started either one of these. I think I'll probably start this one first, because I'm still in a reading mood. I'm not too tired, and maybe later in the night I'll switch over to audio when I get more tired. But yeah, I'll update you hopefully soon with some progress. Yeah. Hi, it's now like 11 p.m. Well, almost, like 5 minutes to 11. So it's almost time for me to go to bed. But I do have an update for you. I didn't actually really get started reading till like 8:30ish. Because like I said, I was listening to the Triple J Top 100 countdown of Australian songs. And and I got really into that, and I had such a good time. I think when I got home they were at like 40ish. I listened to like 40ish to number one. It was a really fun time. There were some stupid choices, some really stupid choices, like the Veronicas being number 3. Anyway, that was dumb. It's a good song, but anyway, so yeah, it was a really fun night listening to that. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was such a cool and unique idea, and so fun to listen and remember how many good Australian songs there are and how good Australian music is. So that was really fun, and I realised when I was listening to it that it's happening during the Australian readathon while I'm reading Australian books. So this is a very Aussie focused month. Yeah, so that was really fun. So yeah, the countdown didn't finish to like 8ish, like 15ish, and then it took me a while to stop listening to that after the interviews, and then they played the final song a couple of times. So yeah, I didn't start reading till like 8:30ish, but I have picked up what I said I was going to pick up, so round of applause for me. I have started The Captive Prince by C.S. Beckett, and so far so good. Yeah, I think so. Where I'm up to, our character Damon has, I think that's how you say that, Damon has been taken to the court of Veer. I'm just going to say Veer, I don't think that's correct pronunciation, but yeah, he has been taken to the court of Veer, and he is currently a slave. He hasn't had heaps of interactions with Laurent. They've only just started kind of interacting, and their discussions have been very minimal. As we're going on, we're getting more interactions from them though, and I'm liking the kind of back and forth between the two of them. I'm also really liking like the political aspect to this. Like the blurb says, the court of Veer is very lethal, and it's kind of a I don't know how to describe it, like a very like a game of words, and you know, everything everyone says is very purposefully chosen, and it's like a battle of words, from what we've seen of like the court aspect of this so far. In terms of me being like terrified by the darkness of this, it hasn't been too bad. I will say it hasn't been too bad. There hasn't been any content where I've been like, I can't do this, as of yet. There was one scene that was very heavy, and I was like, uh-oh. It was a very fucked up scene, and I thought it was going to get worse. I mean, this sounds so bad, but it wasn't happening to our main character. He was just kind of watching it happen. So I feel like it would have been worse if it was happening to him in terms of this kind of darker content. I don't think I would have particularly appreciated that. So yeah, that was still quite a heavy scene, and that started to make me a little bit nervous about me being able to read this book. But it wasn't too long of a scene, and it kind of shifted to something else, which was good. I know that's very not very clear of me, but I don't want to say what the scene was, so 1 for spoilers and 2 for content warnings. But yeah, it hasn't been too dark as of yet that I haven't wanted to haven't wanted to continue. Is that what I want to say? Yeah, it hasn't been too dark so far. I'm really hoping we get more scenes between these two. The dynamics very interesting. I feel like there's definitely more to Laurent than is coming across. I feel like his reactions to certain moments or certain things that Damon has said has shocked Laurent, and I think he has this, I think both of them really have this opinion of each other's people and what they're like, and I think they will, as the book goes on, surprise each other a little bit and kind of maybe break those stereotypes that they have of each other. I think when I saw the author talk, they said that their Varation court was, I think, like inspired by the French court, and then I think Damon was maybe inspired by like ancient Greeks, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be off, but yeah, I definitely remember their people was based off like the French court. Yeah, and they're very like flamboyant and promiscuous kind of people. Yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. hasn't been too dark. I'm very much looking forward to seeing these two interact more and their dynamic, and I'm loving the political aspect as well. Like, Damon's really watching and taking in the politics of this court, and I always love some court politics in my books. So far so good. I've read 76 pages, so I'm on chapter 4. The chapter's actually quite long, and I'm getting through this quite quickly. Like, I started reading at 8:30, and I've read 76 pages. Normally it takes me all day to get to like 100 pages, so I'm getting through it quite quickly, which is good, which means I'm liking it. So yeah, I'm very happy that I'm liking this so far. I'm definitely tapping out for the night. Like I said, it's like 11 o'clock. I'm so tired. Like, I could feel my focus going. I'm just really tired, to be honest. So I think better I go to bed now and then wake up fresh in the morning ready to read. Otherwise, if I just stay up all night, I'm going to sleep in to like some stupid hour tomorrow and waste half my day off. So I'm definitely still going to have a sleep in though, don't get me wrong. Yeah, so I'm definitely not going to be able to start the Survivors tonight. Like, I feel like if I played the audio when I got into bed, I would just fall asleep and have to start again. So I've done my skincare, so I'm ready to hop into bed and get my sleep in. So yeah, that's very exciting. So that's my first update. I will update you tomorrow with my plans for the day. I think I'll do a clip in the morning, talk about my plans for the day, or maybe I'll update you after I've read some more. We'll see how I go. Good morning. It is now Sunday. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and as you can see, I'm out and about. I decided to go for a walk this morning. I didn't really want to like laze around all weekend like I normally do. Like, I'm not super in like a bed, oh my gosh, this ground is so uneven. I'm not super in a bed rotting mood, which is so unlike me. Like, normally it comes to the weekend and all I want to do is bed rot, but the sun's out. Like, as you can tell, I'm squinting. The sun's out and it's actually a beautiful day. Alright, yeah, I didn't want to spend all day in bed rotting, so I went for a walk up the shops, which is a pretty decent walk and a lot of hills, so I'm really out of breath and I'm very unfit, so that doesn't help. I got a nice smoothie as my little treat for walking. It was actually a frappe. It's like, I think it's passion fruit, pineapple, and maybe even mango, I think. Anyway, whatever it is, it's really yummy and really refreshing, and perfect for my walk back home. I didn't actually do any more reading last night after I updated you guys. I literally just scrolled on my phone for like 10 minutes and went straight to bed. I was really tired, so I'm really glad I did that, because like, I'm not feeling crazy tired today. And even though I was going to allow myself to sleep in, I woke up, my body clock woke me up at like 7:15, so I was really pissed at that. But it meant that I like actually am taking advantage of the day, which is good. Okay, I can see now. So this morning while I was lying in bed because I couldn't go back to sleep, I started Survivors by Jane Harper, the audio, and I'm really enjoying it. I have been listening to it on my walk as well, which has been really cool. So yeah, so far so good. I've listened to about, I want to say like an hour 15, I think. I'm listening on 1.2 speed because I can't seem to go above that at the moment. I know it's really slow for most people, but hey man, it's the speed I can understand it at this point. I'm working on getting it faster, it's just not happening. Anyway, so yeah, so far we've kind of been introduced to like our main kind of crew. So we've got our main character, who used to live in this small town in Tasmania, for you non-Aussies. Oh, I don't know why I thought filming this outside was a good idea. Anyway, so yeah, he used to live in this small town in Tassie, but he moved to Sydney when he was like a teenager, well, when he was like 18, I think, to study, and he was reunited with a girl that also grew up in the same town in Tassie, who was also studying in Sydney. Anyway, yeah, his father's got dementia, so he's helping his father and his mother pack up their house so he can go to a care facility. So he's in this small town that he grew up in, Tassie, catching up with like two old mates that like he used to be mates with when he was younger, and with his wife, blah blah blah. And then he overhears people talking about him in the kitchen, and it turns out that he's got a really dark past that we don't really know much about. I don't want to say because spoilers, but he apparently did something really bad. Like, it's really bad in the past, and we don't really know why, but it's really well known in this town what he did, and that's why he moved out of this town and went to Sydney. So there's this really dark past that I'm so curious to find out about more. Like, they're just really teasing and not giving enough information that you can piece it together, which I really like. So I'm so curious about that, because he seems like such a normal, like, well-adjusted guy. Well, not well-adjusted, like, he talks about his mental health, but he seems like a really normal guy, like family man. And then at the end of the last chapter I just finished before I opened this camera, some more bad shit has just happened now. On the beach, there's a lot of people standing around what I believe is maybe potentially a body. So I'm really loving the writing style. I knew I was going to. It's Jane Harper. I just love everything she writes. I'm really curious to see, like, I mean, they're kind of hinting at who this person on the beach is. I'll be very sad if it is, but also at the same time happy, because I feel like, well, not happy, that sounds so crazy and psychotic, but I think it'll be really interesting because it'll obviously connect back to whatever happened all those years ago when he was like a kid slash teenager, and maybe this body on the beach could be revenge. There's a lot of people in this town that don't like him, so I feel like I'm in for a really good, interesting mystery. I've kind of been introduced to the main players that were potentially involved in this dangerous thing that happened, bad thing that happened all these years ago. So yeah, I'm really excited to keep reading, keep listening. I'm really liking it so far, so I think I'll listen to it a little bit more before I go back to Captive Prince. Anyway, I hope that wasn't a too stop-starty update. I'm very sorry I kept having to stop film. But I just wanted to film somewhere different for once. And I don't even know if this is going to make it in the vlog, because I'm now realizing how windy it is, and that's probably covering the sound of my voice, but whatever. I'm gonna go finish my frappe because it's melting, and I will update you soon. It's now about 2:40 in the arvo, and I have made some progress on Captive Prince, which is very exciting. So I'm now on page 174, which is about, I think, about 57% of the way through this book. So I have made a bit of progress today. I'm a slow reader. I know you guys were probably expecting I was further along, but I'm a slow reader, so whatever. And sorry that I'm jumping back between the survivors and this. It's what I gotta do as a mood reader, honestly. I'm always reading more than one book at a time. I'm currently reading about 5 other books outside of this vlog earlier this week. So I gotta do what I gotta do to keep my reading momentum going, and I'm a victim of mood reading. Anyway, yeah, so I've made progress in this and I'm really enjoying it. I'm finding myself flying through it quite quickly, and I'm very engaged with it. I'm loving the political focus. I think I said that in the last update, but it's definitely got more political in the since the last update, I meant to say. Yeah, so it's very much kind of like our main character has to play this very careful game of observing the politics of this country that he's in, and he's a really good person. I like our main character. He's a kind person, and he's really more scared for his fellow countrymen's like safety than his own, and I love that he's willing to risk his own safety for that of his people, and his main concern is for their safety and their treatment. So he's a really likable main character, and he's really yeah, I love that he's playing the politics, especially that he's playing the politics with Laurent, which is the most risky for him because that's basically his master. And Laurent is not afraid to dish out punishments to him. He hates his guts. He hates he hates our main character's country because they killed his brother. Well, our main character killed his brother. And yeah, that's the kind of big secret that our main character, Damon, couldn't remember his name for a second there, is always at risk of being discovered as the actual, the prince of this country that they hate. And, every day is a risk that he's going to get recognised. And if he gets recognised, he's in a world of trouble. So he does a lot of this stuff for his fellow people at a big risk to himself. I'm afraid that the tiny little progress that has been made between these two characters will soon be absolutely destroyed when Laurent figures out who he really is and what he's done in the past. I'm so terrified that somewhere in this series that they're gonna start to really care for each other. That's gonna come out and then it's just gonna destroy all the progress. Or he could actually know the secret already. There's been hints that he does know the secret, but I feel like he's not quite treating him how he would if he knew this dark secret. So maybe he already knows and we're not gonna it's not gonna get destroyed. Anyway, Laurent is growing on me a little bit. We're seeing more and more of his humanity, and I could tell they were hinting at that there was humanity behind his exterior, and I think his personality is definitely a front. I think it's a protective thing, because yeah, Laurent's uncle is holding the throne, kind of ruling until he turns 21 in 10 months time. And there's big political divide in their court between Laurent's supporters and his uncle's supporters. And I don't think his uncle is a very good person. So I think Laurent would be a better ruler and potentially a kinder ruler because he comes across as this cold and cruel person, but I think he genuinely cares. And I think Damon could potentially bring out that caringness in him. Anyway, I'm really, really loving this book. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm flying through it. It's definitely got nothing on Dark Rise and Dark Air by the same author. Nothing will ever compare to that, and it's not fair to compare the books, but I'm really enjoying this. There has been some more scenes where I'm like, ooh, this is uncomfortable, but not too much that I want to put down the book. It's bearable. Not too dark for me, which is good, but it is definitely dark, and I would definitely check the trigger warnings before you read this book because there's some fucked up scenes in it that oh my god. I did have to put the book down after one, and then I was like, okay, I'll pick it back up. But anyway, my camera's gonna die, so that's my update. I am eating this up. I don't think I'll update you again till I finish because I don't really think I'll have that much to say until the end. So hopefully in the next update, I will have finished this and I'll tell you about my final thoughts. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna finish this today. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of a break from reading and maybe doing a little bit of editing. I should be doing uni work, but I just want to edit a little bit of my August TBR. And then I will get back into this because I'm really, really enjoying it. Okay, hello. I wasn't planning to update so soon, but oh my god, this book is so good. So I'm in shock with what I just read. I'm on page 230, so I just finished chapter 12 of this book, and holy shit, this book is so good. I wish I was filming earlier some b-roll of me reading. I wish the camera had been on me when I got to the end of chapter 11 because oh my god, without spoiling it, we've just been given a secret and it is awful. It is awful, and I was literally, my jaw was on the floor, and I obviously can't say what the secret is because it's a huge spoiler, but we've just got some offhanded comment and some behaviour that has made it obvious about a certain something that's happened in Laurent's past, Laurent being our prince, and it just makes so much sense to why he behaves like he does and why he has this relationship with his uncle that he does and why he has this connection with his uncle's slave that he does and this sympathy for him. And oh my god, the visceral anger I felt when I read this scene, I hate this uncle character so much. Like, he is such a piece of shit and I hate him so much. And I love that this book completely shocked me, but it makes so much sense, and I'm so mad that I didn't see this like reveal earlier. Oh my god. So we've just kind of had the big like dramatic moment of the book, and some shit is starting to go down. I'm not quite sure who is behind a certain something that's just happened. I have my freaking suspicions, but yeah, we'll see. So I'm really close to the end now. Like, I'm very, very close to the end. I've got, I can't do maths. Like, do I have like 40? I have like 40 pages left. So I'm definitely about to go sit and finish this. But I had to share that, like, oh my god, it all makes so much sense why Laurent is the way he is. And even though I kind of hate him and he does bad stuff, I now just feel even more sympathetic towards him. And I love that you have such a love-hate relationship with him. Like, you know he does bad things, but at the same time you just can't help but feel sorry for him and get these glimpses of his humanity. And now I'm so sympathetic and understanding why he acts the way he does, because of how he was treated when he was younger. Oh my god, this book is so good. Yeah, my jaw was on the floor at the last chapter. So yeah, I just wanted to update and tell you guys that I loved chapter 11. That was such a good chapter. I was also very nervous and very scary things were happening, and I was very scared for our characters, but I don't know what's going to happen in these last 40 pages. I feel like we're going to have a cliffhanger because this is book 1 of 3, and I'm very scared for what's going to happen. But I am definitely going to continue on with this series. So freaking good. I feel like I haven't had like this kind of reaction to something that's happened in a book in so long. Like, I've been reading such shit books recently that this is like a breath of fresh air. So I'm so nervous for the last 40 pages. I just know it's going to be some crazy frustrating cliffhanger, and I don't currently own the sequel, which is just fantastic, because honestly I feel like I could easily just jump straight into the sequel, to be honest. But there's my tiny little mini update. Fuck Laurent's uncle, what an asshole of a character. I hope he gets what's coming to him, honestly, because I hate him so much. Oh my god, I hate him so much. I don't see him going away anytime soon. I feel like he's a bit of the big bad of the book, but screw Laurent's uncle, what a freaking asshole. Anyway, I'm eating this up. Wrap up this weekend reading vlog. I ended up having a productive end to my weekend. I ended up going to the shops actually to get, oh, and I'm so excited to show you these, book 2 and book 3 in the Captive Prince series. I'm so excited to have my hands on these. I looked it up last night online and Big W said there was no stock, and I was like, oh my god, and then I couldn't find it in stock anywhere, and I was like, oh, I should go to Big W anyway, just give it a shot. And there they were, sitting waiting for me. I have never ran out and got a sequel so quickly in my life. So my first read of August is definitely going to be Princess Gambit. Look at these covers, they're absolutely stunning. Anyway, so I did end up finishing Captive Prince by C.S. Paquette, as you can tell by me buying the sequels, and now I have the whole trilogy and they're beautiful. 4.5 stars. I don't know why I can't give it quite 5 stars. It just didn't feel like a 5-star to me, but it was so close. It was a 4.5. I loved the ending. I knew that ending was coming. I knew it was going to be such a cliffhanger, and it was. I loved this book. I loved their dynamic. I loved the politics. I was obsessed with the whole thing, their dynamic. I loved it so much. So I'm so glad Amy told me to pick these up. I'm very happy that she did because oh my god, was she right. She knows my book taste too well, my friend Amy. Anyway, yeah, so I finished Captive Prince. I didn't sadly finish the audio of The Survivors, so I did only read one book in this vlog, finish one book in this vlog, but that's okay. I read majority of this. I have about 3 hours 40 left of the audio, and I will say it's very slow and it's not a very dramatic thriller, but to be honest, like her other thriller I read, well, like Forces of Nature was quite slow as well, and so was The Lost Man, so I wasn't really surprised by the fact that this book is slow. I am really enjoying it though. I feel like a lot of her stories are really character based, and I'm just honestly just really enjoying my time with these characters, and them dealing with their past and the present, and I'm really enjoying just being a part of this small town, seeing the dynamics, which really surprises me. But Jane Harper's writing is that good that it makes me enjoy, I guess, books that I wouldn't normally enjoy because just her writing is so amazing. So I definitely feel like this is sitting at a 4-star. I will see if that changes based on the reveal at the end. We are definitely getting so much closer to the reveal. I still don't really know who did it, so that means it's not predictable. So I'm sorry that I only read finished one book in this vlog, but I had a lot of fun filming this weekend. I finished The Captive Prince, 4.5 stars, and I'm reading a 4-star and read majority of it. So that is a crazy reading weekend for me. Like I haven't read so much in a weekend in so long. So thank you for joining me. I also, wait, before I finish, I forgot to tell you as well, I've had a tub, like one of those huge plastic tubs, sitting in front of, I'm not going to show you because my room's really messy and that's embarrassing, but next to my 2 big Billy bookshelves that you see, I've got like a little smaller one with doors. That was my original bookshelf before I had 6,000 books. Yeah, so anyway, it's got like 2 doors, and then next, so that's like on the wall here, and then here is my cupboard, my wardrobe I should say, whatever. And then I've got this big plastic tub, or I had, that would either block my wardrobe so that I had to move it every time I opened my wardrobe, and it was so heavy and full with books, or it would block my bookshelf and I would have to move it to open my bookshelf. So I reckon that's been sitting there in my bedroom for like 2 years, I reckon, which is absolutely crazy and just shows you what a lazy person I really am. So I finally went around to little free libraries in the area and got rid of them. So I have so much more space now. I can open both my wardrobe and my bookshelf at the same time. It's absolutely wild. So yeah, that was a productive end to the week. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a really fun vlog to make, probably because I read good books and I've been in a bad book slump. So it was really fun to make and actually like not bitch about books for once and be positive in a vlog for once. Let me know in the comments, have you read any of these books? What are your thoughts, or what was your favorite thing that you did on your most recent weekend? Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you would like to see more of my content. I will see you in whatever the hell I post next. Bye.